One Well, The Story of Water on Earth, written by Rochelle Strauss, illustrated by Rosemary Woods. One well. Imagine for a moment that all the water on Earth came from just one well. This isn't as strange as it sounds. All water on Earth is connected, so there really is just one source of water, one global well from which we all draw our water. Every ocean wave, every lake, stream, and underground river, every raindrop and snowflake, and every bit of ice and glaciers and polar ice caps is part of this global well. So, whether you are turning on a faucet in North America, pulling water from a well in Kenya, or bathing in a river in India, it is all the same water. And because it is all connected, how we treat the water in the well will affect every species on the planet, including us, now and for years to come. Some facts about water. Earth is the only planet that has liquid water and is therefore the only planet that can support life. You need water, and so does every other living organism, every person, every plant, and every animal. Without water, nothing can survive. Finally, the amount of water on Earth hasn't ever changed. It has been the same for billions of years. We live on a watery planet. Almost 70% of Earth's surface is covered with water. This surface water is found in oceans, lakes, rivers, streams, marshes, even puddles in the morning dew. There is so much water that if you look down at Earth from space, it would appear blue. But there is also water we can see beneath the Earth's surface. This groundwater can be found just about everywhere. It fills the cracks in rocks and the spaces between rocks, grains of sand and soil as well. Most groundwater is close to the Earth's surface, but some of it is buried quite deep. Water is also frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps, and there's water in the atmosphere. Every one of these water sources feeds Earth's one well. Where is the water on Earth? Well, oceans compose 97.23% of the water on Earth. Ice caps and glaciers, 2.14%. Groundwater, 0.61%. Freshwater lakes, 0.009%, or 9 thousandths of a percentage point. Inland saltwater seas, 8 thousandths. Moisture in the soil, 5 thousandths. Water in the atmosphere, 1 thousandths of 1%. And rivers, 1/10,000ths of a percent. Yes, there's more water in the atmosphere and soil than in all of Earth's rivers. Hard to believe. Recycling water in the well. The water you drank today may have rained down on the Amazon rainforest 5 years ago. 100 years ago, it may have been a stream escaping a teapot in India. 10,000 years ago, it may have flowed in an underground river. 100,000 years ago, it may have been frozen solid in a glacier. And 100 million years ago, it may have quenched the thirst of a dinosaur. The amount of water on Earth doesn't change. There's no more water now than when the dinosaurs walked the Earth. The same water just keeps going through a cycle over and over again. This constant movement of water is called the water cycle. During the water cycle, water evaporates from oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, and puddles, even from plants and animals. It rises into the air as water vapor. As water vapor rises, it cools into tiny water droplets. This is called condensation. These droplets form clouds. Gradually, the clouds collect more and more droplets. The average white cloud weighs about twice as much as a blue whale. When water droplets get too heavy, they fall from the clouds in the form of hail, snow, or rain. This precipitation returns to oceans, lakes, and rivers. It also seeps into the soil and down into the groundwater. Year after year, water continuously circulates through the water cycle. Here are some more facts. In 1 year, an area of rainforest the size of a football field pumps over 75,000 liters of water vapor into the atmosphere, more than enough to fill a backyard swimming pool. It takes about 1 million tiny water droplets to make just one raindrop. Finally, why are the oceans salty? Great question. Rivers flow into the sea, collecting salt from rocks and soil and adding it to the ocean. As ocean water evaporates, the salt is left behind. Plants at the well. The first plants on Earth began life in the water. About 450 million years ago, some were washed ashore. At first, they could live only in wet areas. Gradually, they developed root systems that allowed them to tap into water in the soil. Water is essential to plants. In fact, plants are mostly water. It's the water in their cells that gives them their shape and form. Without it, they droop and shrivel. Water also helps plants make food for themselves. Plants use the sun's energy to change water and carbon dioxide into simple sugars that feed the plant. This process is called photosynthesis. Water then helps carry this food throughout the plant. During photosynthesis, plants also release water vapor into the air. Roots absorb water, which is carried to the stem. The stem acts like a water pipe in your house, moving water through the plant to the leaves. From the leaves, water is released back into the atmosphere. This is called transpiration. The water that is transpired is added to the cycle of water on Earth. Water is important to plants, but plants are also important to water. Plant roots anchor soil and stop it from blowing or washing into lakes and rivers. Leaves and branches trap rainwater, allowing it to seep slowly into the soil instead of flowing quickly away. And trees provide shade, which helps keep moisture in the soil. Plants depend on water from the well for survival, and the well depends on plants to help move water through its cycle. Without plants, the water cycle would be disrupted. Without water, plants could not survive. Here are some more facts. How thirsty is a tree? On a summer's day, an average-sized birch tree can draw up to 300 liters, 80 U.S. gallons of water from the soil. That's almost enough to fill 2 large bathtubs. Also, many plants depend on water to disperse their seeds. A coconut, the seed of a palm tree, can spend weeks, months, or even years drifting in the ocean before reaching land and sprouting. Finally, the plants you eat are mostly water. Tomatoes are about 95% water. Apples are about 85% water. Seeds are among the driest foods. They contain only 5 to 10% water.